Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is June 25th, 2023. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good, feeling pretty great. So far, haven't done too much today. We did some groceries. Let's see what else we got for the personal corner. Any food corner? I had Taco Bell. I decided to do that to my body. Yes. I ordered a Crunchwrap Supreme, a Burrito Supreme, and a Nacho Bel Grande with nacho fries. So, yeah, I was on some fat shit. It was good. It was yummy. It did not disappoint. I paid for it the next day, just like you're supposed to. All was a good day. It was nice, relaxed weekend. And like I said, more or less just at groceries today. It's a lazy Sunday, so we love to see it. Let's see. Hopefully, you're having a good one, you and yours. Let me go ahead and light this candle, and then we can get into some news for this Sunday. Sunday. Ooh. Okay. All right, so we do have an update on the Prigozhin situation from CBS News. Wagner chief Prigozhin says he's accepted truce brokered by Belarus. Now, to me, this felt like some Napoleon, like, I don't know, exile shit. Like, this motherfucker just got sent to St. Helena. But let's go ahead and talk about it. The chief of Russia's Wagner mercenary group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, said Saturday that he'd agreed to halt his forces' movement inside Russia and take further steps to de-escalate tensions, in an agreement brokered by Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko. Now, Lukashenko kind of just played go-between in between the two of them. I think he talked to Putin a couple of times. This seems like a really nice, quick and easy save face here. I believe the Kremlin has more or less said, hey, we're not going to press charges. We're going to drop them now. He's just going to go away and, problem solved. Now, I don't know if this is the end of Prigozhin. Naturally, he left with his forces. He says, hey, we made it this far without drawing any bloodshed. I realize if we went any further, Russian lives would be lost. So, that was his diplomatic answer to the situation, though he was literally baying for the blood of, like, these military officials up until this point. So I'm surprised that he's just kind of getting away with it, if you will. Maybe it just goes to show how much power this guy, really has at the end. That, and at the end of the day, he went from being like a hot dog vendor to this mercenary warlord guy who I wouldn't say is on par with Putin or anything like that. Clearly he kind of got put in his place really hard here, but it does seem like he's getting away with that without any real repercussions. You would think something like this, it's like, okay, you're going to be getting that ice pick nap now. But we'll see. I don't know what's down the pipe from here, but I do think the story is kind of starting to cool. But it does seem like when it comes to Wagner Group, when it comes to Prigozhin, you just never know when and where he's gonna pop up. Like, what's he gonna say? What's he gonna do? So he is a wild card for fucking real. Let's go ahead and move along here. From the Associated Press, freight train carrying hot asphalt, molten sulfur plunges into Yellowstone River as bridge fails. A bridge that crosses the Yellowstone River in Montana collapsed early Saturday, plunging portions of a freight train carrying hazardous materials into the rushing water below. The train cars were carrying hot asphalt and molten sulfur, Stillwater County Disaster and Emergency Services said. Let's see. I believe they did shut down like the water just to kind of like make sure that everything was, on the up and everything was good. They do say that like despite that there was literally all this leakage into the body of water, that there's been a surging river. It's been like swollen. So they're saying that it's gonna dilute the the stuff going into it. And also they add that like sulfur is something they use in fertilizer and things like that. More or less just trying to say, hey guys, yeah, this is, obviously not a good scene, but no one was hurt and this shouldn't be like an environmental disaster. So hopefully that's the case. Hopefully that's true. I know we've definitely covered a lot of train incidents, train wrecks, and things of that nature. Though this doesn't seem like too much of a neglect thing. I mean, we've covered Yellowstone a decent amount as well. Just a lot of not I don't want to say environmental problems, just nature being nature. And I mean, you have a bridge, and there's a concern that maybe like the amount of water has kind of maybe was a cause of it in terms of like erosion or something like that to the bridge, but that's not for a certain thing. So yeah, oh yeah, also a fiber optic cable that was running internet was also damaged by the bridge collapse. So that was kind of like another bummer to the area. Um, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like this was like, excuse me, too wild or like a catastrophe or anything like that. It's just definitely like, oh shit, a whole ass bridge went down and, leaked chemicals. It's like, yet again. Yeah, like I said, it's been a busy year for that, huh? All right, we can go ahead and move along here. Call that coverage. From the Metro. From the Metro. Actually, I always like calling out like news sites that I'm not the biggest fan of. But that being said, I just found this. To me, it's an interesting story. Obviously, it's fucked up, it's dark, but those do kind of draw my attention sometimes. But a woman shot Uber driver and took a picture, thinking he was kidnapping her to Mexico. This lady she definitely has like main character energy. I understand that life is crazy, anything could fucking happen, but this is like jumping to conclusions in the most radical way. And because of where you live and who you are, you just like, yeah, I can just have a gun. Why not? So like, shit, they're trying to fucking Liam Neeson I'm gonna get taken. Oh hell no. Well, that's not what happened. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Phoebe Copus, 48, is accused of shooting Uber driver Daniel Piedra Garcia, 52 years old, in the head on US 54 highway in El Paso last Friday. Copus of Thompsonville, Kentucky, ordered an Uber driver to take her to the Speaking Rock Casino, where she planned to meet her boyfriend after he finished work. Let's see. While in the Uber, Copus saw traffic signs that read Juarez, Mexico, and wrongly thought Piedra Garcia was trying to abduct and take her there. Let's see here. Copus then pulled a silver and brown handgun from her purse and shot the driver. Now, Garcia, he hits like a barricade or barrier, comes to a halt, which is near Loop 375. I don't really know what that looks like or what it is. That's just part of this fucking highway. Now, Copus doesn't call the police or anything like that. She gets a hold of her boyfriend. The boyfriend comes and picks her up, and apparently she's so shaken that she leaves the gun on the ground. She drops like everything. Yeah, just really sloppy. I imagine like she's just freaked out. And I imagine even with her narrative, like, yeah, like I imagine you're like, I didn't want to do that, but I thought he was gonna kidnap me. But I don't know. It's wild that you're on this much of a hair trigger, and you're just like, yep, I'm just gonna shoot this person in the head, and then to be like, oh, I'm not gonna call the police or anything like that. And they mentioned that in this article. It's like she could have alerted police, anything prior to just pulling out a weapon. Instead, she just shoots someone and then calls her boyfriend to come pick her up. Leaving Garcia to his own devices. Now, Garcia, I believe, is in intensive care now. His wife has put up a GoFundMe for him. She said that he had just had surgery, I believe, on his knee, and he was working to finally like get more income and things like that, and this happens to him, and it's a fucking shame. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, we're all just working, trying to live our lives, and a bit of a tangent here, but it just sucks that we're always just one catastrophe from just being at the edge, um, and like I said, it's a shame that someone like this Copus person was just like, yeah, I'm gonna blow someone's head off today, because I'm not going to Mexico. It's just wild. Sometimes you gotta stop and just use some common sense comprehension skills and say, hey, let's not jump to conclusions. Let's not get wild. I maybe being a little bit anxious, a little bit paranoid. I don't know. It also reminds me, I'm really in the weeds here, being, tangential, whatever. But Crash is a big movie for me. And there's the ending scene in that movie that I think about a lot. And I just always go like, God damn, my fear is always that person. Like, the person who's like, oh yeah, no, I'm not like a racist guy. Like, I don't have any problems with like black people or these people or those people. But like, they do harbor these feelings, and they bury them, and they bury them, and they bury them, and then they come out in like the craziest, most like paranoid ways sometimes, and they just do the wildest things, and potentially people can get hurt just because you're scared or have this crazy bias that you just haven't worked out, So yeah, that was something I wanted to cover and talk about. We got one more thing to cover before I let you go on this Sunday afternoon. Oh yeah. Yummy, yummy. From CBS News, Ireland is paying up to $92,000 to people who buy homes on remote islands. Here's how it works. Now, these articles I always love when like a country is doing some like weird promo to get people to come live there. They usually grab my attention. But here, the excuse me, the Irish government has a plan to boost the population of more than 24 remote islands in the Atlantic Ocean. Dangle grants of up to 92,000. Sorry, spacing out. $92,000 to home buyers who are willing to move there. The islands include Innismore, where the Oscar-nominated 2022 film Banshees of Inisherin was partially filmed, and which is one of the Aran Islands that sit off the west coast of Ireland. These islands are often a tourist draw due to their rugged landscapes and history. Now, these islands look beautiful. It looks like an amazing place. I'm going to say to visit. But the way these islands are kind of set up, they're kind of remote. Not too many people live there on said island. Like, individually, there's just not too many people on each. So you would be very secluded. Also, there's stipulations to this $92,000 that make it not super cool to me personally. And we'll run it down. But essentially, though, the $92,000 or 84,000 euros, I believe that's euros. It might be pound. Sorry, I'm not too good with the symbols outside of the dollar sign. Okay. But you have to like renovate a derelict building on one of the islands. Now, let's see. People who fix up a vacant property can get up to almost $67,000 for renovation, according to the government website. So, I mean, it's cool, but the money is tied to you living, obviously, in Ireland, and you either have to like live in the home or like rent it out to someone to live in the home. They cover, let's see, where the islands are located. Let's go the qualifying part. The property has to have been vacant for at least 2 years and built before 2008. So, aka, it has to be old. You have to own the property or be in the process of buying it. You have to live in the home as your principal private residence when the work is complete or rent it out. You can't be a registered company or developer. That I like a lot because then it comes down to like it's the rich. Well, I hate that because then like rich knobs can probably come and do that kind of shit. Essentially just be their own company and be like, yeah, I'm just renting these nice ass homes out. And it's like, hopefully you've renovated it. Because that's the thing, I've seen some of these homes on some of these islands that do look really nice. But that being said, you're still isolated and secluded from people. I would have went like that. Like, maybe if this is Hawaii, like, okay, different aesthetic. But I don't like Ireland that much. It's a lot of green, though. Don't get me wrong. Also, you have had to paid taxes and have your taxes in order. So, obviously you can't be on some crime shit. At least you can't be on some sloppy crime shit. Let me be specific. But yeah, I mean, this is an interesting proposition. I don't know why it goes out of the way to be like, hey, can I do this if I'm American? Like, yeah, you can totally. This isn't an anti-American situation. No, they just want anybody. But yeah, something's interesting. I'm curious if you would do that. Feel free to sound off in the comments or whatever. Say if you'd want to go to Ireland for that amount of money on a fixer-upper. Maybe that's your thing. Like, as much as I would like to say I'm a hermit and I like to live alone and like be by my lonely, I do like human contact. I do like running into people, interactions. Also, I think about myself, well, what's going to happen if, like, there's a bad storm and, like, I'm not well or I'm sick? Like, the bridges are going to be up. I'm not going to be able to get into town and get help. No one's going to be able to help me. Not even Life Alert's going to save my ass. So, those are things I would think about and probably is going to leave me in good old Ohio. Yeah. But that's the news. That's all I got. I won't bore you with all the blah blah flim flam shill jam. So hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye bye. Mwah.